All right, go ahead.
What's been the key to kind of the turnaround for you guys in terms of winning turnover margin?
Well, I think that all wraps into the theme of attention to detail in a lot of ways. And, from day one, since we've gotten here, that has been the priority. And I think that if you look really in this conference, and you look at all conferences in college football, the teams that at the end of the season have success are usually in the plus side of that turnover margin. And so, I just think it's been a elite focus by our coaches, both sides of the ball, and something we constantly talk about. We talk about every day. We drill every day. But I really just think it's the really the attention we give it as a coaching staff, and I think it's starting to become habit for our kids.
Did it take some time to kind of break some bad habits, I guess?
Yeah, I just think whether it was or it wasn't, it's something that we've always believed in terms of success of a program and success of football team. And, I think it's just something that we've tried to anchor in the foundation of the football program, and something that we've really, really tried to make sure as we go forward, you always go back to square one. I think sometimes people forget every year is different. And so you got to relay the values of your football program, and I thought our kids have really done a great job understanding that from the early part of the season on.
How big of a difference maker has it been so far this season?
Well, I think if you just look at the games, right, in the games we've had success, we've been on the plus side of it, and the games that we haven't been on. And so, I think that is the absolute difference, and it's great to be able to at least have visual evidence and, obviously some gut-wrenching evidence on the negative side, and some positive on the other side of it to be able to showcase young people. And, sometimes I think young guys have to experience it before they really buy into it.
Seemed like, I know you talked in Oklahoma about all the distractions from a week ago. It seems like there's a lot of outside noise this week,
yeah.
But it's of a different nature. How have you guys been able to block out all that stuff?
Well, it is. I mean, I don't think there's any difference between last week and this week in a lot of ways in terms of distraction and noise. And, adversity comes in two ways, positive or negative. And, that's the character of a football team. And, I just got done talking to our kids about this. 10% of the teams in the country can handle success. And, that's what a huge challenge for Iowa State football right now. Can you handle the opportunity to play a game where you played and some really positive things happened, and then can you handle success? And that's going to be a great challenge for us, and I'm really anxious to see our kids. I thought we've had a really good week of practice, and I think this team and this group of seniors have really handled everything that's come at them and every challenge that's come at them so far.
How has Willie done through 2 days?
Yeah, he's been out, out there today. Didn't practice much a day ago. Practiced a little bit today. I would say he's between questionable and probable for the game. I think he's certainly back at practice, which is a real positive thing. Willie or won't he? I think all depends on the next 48 hours.
What's been the key to Garrett's success? He had obviously big kicks that ended up being the difference in the game, but what's allowed him to kind of flourish?
Yeah, I just think, again, number one, I got to give Coach Houston a lot of credit. Joe's a guy that did a great job a year ago. I have been with Coach Houston now. This is going into our third year together, and his first year at Toledo, we had a freshman kicker. Obviously last year with Cole, senior, that had phenomenal ability and really started to have elite consistency. And then this year with Garrett, I think Coach Houston's been a huge factor to why there has been some success in technique and mechanics. But you look at Garrett, and Garrett's a guy that I felt like had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder coming in here with something to prove, and really has attacked his details. So has done a really good job. It's interesting, you watch his consistency in practice, he's really good, and you even watch where there's times where he loses some of that consistency, he's not as good. So there's kind of facts in the evidence of what he does on a day in, day out basis, and I'm really proud of what he's done because he has been very consistent for us.
How tough is it to ensure that 18 to 22-year-olds don't really care what the outside world is saying, good or bad, like you said?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. You're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds who have parents and girlfriends and everything else under the, we live in a world of social media. So, I just think it's one of those great challenges, positive or negative, that you're constantly educating your kids. And if you're not, then it's probably you're in the wrong. And, so that's our job as coaches, is to teach and be great teachers. So something we talk about a lot, no matter what our situation is. But yeah, I think that's a great challenge, and it always is. But I think one of the neat things about this senior class in our 19 seniors is these kids have been through a lot, and I think sometimes they've been hardened by the outside in a lot of ways, and that can be really positive. They've never flinched so far, and I really appreciate that about this group, and we'll see if they can keep handling it. But yeah, great challenge for this group of seniors and our football team for sure.